Hello and welcome back to the Football Terrace. RB Leipzig versus Man United in the Champions League. And it's all to play for. It's a clutch, crunch game. Somebody tomorrow night, whether it be Paris Saint-Germain, RB Leipzig, or Man United, a big club is dropping out at this stage. The group of death will see its first victim. The Champions League will see one of its first major clubs fall out. The big question is, can Manchester United get through the group stages? That's the big question on everybody's lips at the moment. A brilliant start, no doubt about it, winning their opening two games, beating PSG and RB. But then, slip up to Istanbul, and then, in the end, a narrow defeat in terms of performance. 3-1 loss in the end to that of Paris Saint-Germain, and United have everything to play for. They go into this game, and of course they can do it, but the question is, will they? Not can they, but will they do it? We're going to be here to preview that over the next half an hour to 45 minutes, so make sure you're tuning in. Smash that like button for us. Really important to the Football Terrace that you get that done. It really, really is. Smash the like button. Hit the share button as well. Let everyone know we're here. We've got a good panel of guests on for you tonight as well. I know a lot of people are really interested in what's happening in the Brighton game at the moment, and it does appear to be 1-1. So I know for a period in today's game, Arsenal were dropped as low as 16th, but there we go. Hello to everybody tuning in. Yes, predominantly what the comments are talking about in the live chat right now is what's going on in that game, but there we go. We're going to get the panel on. We're going to get the panel involved and see what everybody has got to say here. Let's just do this. Make sure you're hitting that like and share button. Make sure you follow the Discord server. Let's do this, people. Yes, gentlemen. I know we've all got an eager eye on Brighton because we all want to see Arsenal drop down another place lower in the league tonight, which will be magnificent. But of course, probably the biggest game of the season for Man United tomorrow. KJ, how you feeling about it, bro?
Yeah, man. Going into this game, I thought, all we need is a draw. And with all the news that's come out today, I'm still feeling all we need is a draw. And I feel like we get the draw. I'm not expecting us to win because the RB Leipzig are a good team. And also they will be fighting for revenge and also qualification. So you can't take those two things out of it. So they'll be up for the game. They'll be mentally be ready to try and harm United. But I feel like we can set up right, hit them on the counter, hit them on the break, and draw minimum is what I expect. And I believe that we can get. And that'll be enough to go through.
Yeah, of course. Aaron, do you think it's a dangerous tactic to look at this game and play for a draw? Do you think United have to go there and try and win?
Yes, because that's what's going to set the tone for the game. If you go into the game and show that you're only here for a draw, that might motivate Leipzig into getting into a higher level of attacking gear. Because we all know how dangerous they are when they go on a counter attack. They will flood the box, and if we go into this game thinking, listen, we only need a draw, that's probably going to motivate them more. Whereas if we go into this game and think, listen, draw or not, we have to win it, then I think we can be as good as, if not better than Leipzig. And I think they've got one or two players out due to COVID. I can't remember who.
Upamecano's out as well.
Upamecano's out. Klosterman is out. So listen, we got to take our chances. Obviously, we've got a few absentees as well. No Martial, no Cavani. But listen, you got quality on the bench now. So Van der Beek comes in, Greenwood comes in. So I'm quite confident.
Palestri time, you know what I'm saying?
What a moment that could be. I mean, you don't want to I wouldn't put any pressure on him if he comes on. Wouldn't it be amazing? It's 1-0 to Leipzig. Palestri comes on as one of the 5 subs and scores in the 89th minute. It would be so Man United to do that.
That would actually be crazy.
Really would. Cam, from your point of view, mate, how are you feeling ahead of this game? What do Man United need to do, in your opinion, to ensure we get ourselves through to what many would say is unexpectedly through to the knockout stages? Because the vast majority of people predicted that Manchester United would not get anywhere near through this group. Some people even predicted we wouldn't even make it into the Europa League. So what do you want to see from Ollie and the boys tomorrow night?
play your game, man. Do what we did the first time around. At the end of the day, I know we were a little poor in the first half of the first game, and we brought on Rashford, and it changed the game. I think this time the strategy should be play the strongest team at the start, get the lead, and then play smart. Don't be naive, because at the end of the day, I don't watch Leipzig in Germany, but the way I've seen them in the Champions League, they play one way. They don't change up. They are not going to try and play for a draw. We know that. They're going to come at us. So match their energy, play the way you know you can play, get that, be clinical, because we know there's going to be opportunities on the break. We cannot have another incident of like a Greenwood missing on the break or a Rashford. It's like when you get that opportunity, take it and then play your game. Just set up how you need to. Don't set up a low block or anything, but just be smart. Gain possession, play with the ball a bit, be smart. And I think that I'm not worried because we battered these guys 5-0. We're a better team. We have better talent. They're missing the best defender. Just don't go in there nervy. Don't go in there thinking we're going to lose. Don't think about what was happening today. Just go and play your game. And I think we'll be clear but I think he's got to play his strongest team off the bat. We cannot do the bring in Rashford and Bruno at half or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to be the strongest team, and everything Aaron said's bang on. There's this element of, I think when you go somewhere and play for a draw, as you say, it sets a bad tone. I think it gives a precedent for, sometimes when you win, if we're winning 1-0 and at the 60th minute we make a very defensive change, it sends out a message that we're going to sit back now and invite the pressure on. Where often what I like to see is just make an attacking change. We're still going to keep a really good defensive shape, but let's show them that we're here to win this. And I think Man United setting that tone early on is going to be important. Leipzig are no joke. We know they're dangerous, but equally we know they're going to give us space in behind. And I look at Rashford, Bruno, and Greenwood as being absolutely perfect for this, to be able to get themselves into that space, run into it. I mean, they're almost the perfect team for Marcus Rashford, because it's going to play to his strengths massively, giving him that room in behind. We saw against West Ham on Saturday. If you can find the right balls into him from behind, that man will leave everybody for dust. And with Upamecano being missing as well, I think it gives us a really good opportunity. Are any of you surprised we're here, though? So we need 1 point in this game to qualify. Did any of you expect us to get out of this or think we would get out of this group? Aaron, I know I don't even need to ask Aaron. I know Aaron didn't think it. But how impressive have you been? Forget our league form. How impressed have you been with us generally in the Champions League?
I didn't.
Sorry.
No.
I've been very impressed, to be honest. I've been very impressed. I expected us to finish second, but struggling, to be honest. But the way you've been playing, I think the first game is what set the tone for the Leipzig game as well. And just overall, I think we're letting others know in the Champions League, like, listen, you can count on us as well. And that's what I like. That's what I liked about our performances. Obviously, the performance against Istanbul away and PSG at home were not so good. But now I think we've got another chance to show the other teams in the Champions League, listen, even though we had two bad performances in Istanbul and against Paris Saint-Germain, I think we can still get something out of this group, man. And I think I want to finish first, honestly. If we can win this game, can we finish first?
We can.
I don't think we can because we lost to PSG, yeah.
No, the only way we can is if PSG draw against Istanbul and we win.
I think it's highly unlikely that's going to happen, even though there could be a possibility for Istanbul to do that.
We're top of the table right now.
There's it depends where you look. Some places show that we're on top. Some places show that we're second. I think you have to go into the actual UEFA Champions League site to
I was about to say that. I mean, yeah, if we just go onto UEFA's website, it's probably going to be correct. You would assume it's correct on their website. Can you imagine it's not?
But yeah, so far they've impressed me, man. I didn't expect us to do so well in the group stages, but all of that will mean nothing if tomorrow we don't win.
Yeah, man. Officially on the Champions League website, UEFA's website, United are top on goal difference. We've got the goal difference is plus 6, only plus 3 for Paris Saint-Germain. So wins, the only way it goes wrong, I suppose, if we win 1-0 and Paris Saint-Germain win and get a better goal difference than us, then they go in front of us. If it's the same goal difference, then it goes to head, and again they'll go in front of us. They beat us 3-1. 2-1. So, it's if we beat Leipzig 5-0 again, then we're cool. It's good. We're finishing top. Like there's gonna be no issues there. But look, 5-0 may not happen again. It won't happen again. I'm pretty sure of it. But there we go. I agree with you, Aaron. I think that I was very skeptical about getting out of the group, and I just thought, you know what, we can do it. But let's just enjoy the games. But to be at the brink of going into the knockout stage, it's just quite a nice thumb in the eye to rivals, really. And I'm seeing a lot of comments here. There's a guy called Mo in the comments saying, "Oh, no one said that, Terry. No one said you were going to drop out. That's bullshit."
There's video evidence. Video evidence. Yeah, go back to the draw. All the Chelsea fans were giving it large. All the other fans were saying we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. Europa League, and not even some people saying not even Europa League.
Still saying we're not going through. ESPN still said we weren't going through.
You know what I'm saying? We had Aaron underneath sweating and stressing.
I was sweating as well, man. I can't lie.
You know what I mean? So stop acting like people didn't write us off. We were very tough in this group, and we are where we're at. If you asked me at the start of the campaign, would you have took it? Yes. But the annoying thing is the way that we've got to this point is happy but sad at the same time, because we could have secured qualification if we had just had that win in Istanbul, and we failed to do so. But yet, if you told me we would have beat PSG Leipzig, I would have bit your hand off. So really and truly, I'm happy where we are. And again, all it is a point. It's not like we have to win. If we had to win, I'd be sweating. But the fact that all we need is a point, we can go there trying to win. But if things get looking a bit shaky towards the end, we've got like a lead or we're drawing. I know that, you know what, yeah, if we need to, shut up shop, see out the game, and then go forward from there. So we've got options in this game, and that's what I like.
I make you absolutely right on that. And I think hindsight's a very lucrative commodity. We all know this. If somebody said to us today, I think all of us were on that live draw stream we did here at the Football Terrace. If somebody said, listen, final game to go, you need a point to qualify, take it now or risk going out or winning the group or whatever it may be, I think we'd have all said, yeah, let's just take that. But when you look at it, so I think sometimes you have to remember what you first hope for, instead of like we have a habit of doing this as football fans. You change your expectations based on, like Chelsea fans. A lot of them weren't saying they were going to win the league, barring Monster at the beginning. And I'm like, you're probably better sooner than you thought you were, but maintain that original opinion, because it could still go a little bit wrong. If you start moving the goalposts saying, we're title contenders, and then you fall away a little bit, the frustration seeps in. We're going to add a few more guests in here. We're going to throw a man like Lincoln in, and Bits and Bobs are going to join us as well. Bits and Bobs, what's going on, bro? You good?
Yes, people. What we saying?
Yeah, we're good, man. Big, yes, good, Lincoln as well. Pick up yourself, brother. Big game tomorrow. It's practically knockout football. United need to draw. How are you feeling about it, Bits and Bobs? And what should United's approach be?
For me, we need to go out and win. I think we're lucky that Leipzig need to win as well. So basically, I think they're going to come at us, which will play into Ollie ball. We'll counter them. There'll be space left in behind. And I think we just need to be clinical on our counter-attacking. Leipzig need to win, but I'm confident we go there and score goals. We're going to be more clinical than them. They're going to leave space. And I dare say another Bruno magic masterclass, to be honest. And then we win.
I mean, I love it. I'd love Bruno to do that. We're going to get on to who should start in a minute, because, of course, there's a really big subject matter and conversation that's going on in relation to that. There's a little note here on web websites. If two or more clubs are level on points, alphabetical order is applied. Okay, based on full club names until teams have played each other twice, at which point the competition regulations are applied. So maybe it is head to head. So yeah, maybe Man United don't have any opportunity of going through. Maybe I didn't know that, and maybe I should have done. So there we go. Lincoln, from your point of view, bro, you nervous? You excited? How you feel? What's your emotion saying before tomorrow's game?
To be honest, I feel like last week when we lost against PSG, people were overreacting, saying that this is Leipzig. We're going away to Leipzig. We're not going to win. I was thinking, do you mean the same Leipzig team that we beat 5-0 at our home ground? And they came to us. When teams come to us, we basically win the game from the get-go.
Exactly.
So going into this game, I have no thoughts. I'm not really that anxious in going into the game. I think we are going to win. Plus, it's the mentality of the players. Like, the mentality of the players is just they get up for West Ham. They don't get up for West Ham away, but they get up for PSG away in the Champions League. It's like, and I don't blame them. They do have the Champions League pedigree, but then it's just the mentality that they don't get up for league games.
Big question for you, bruv. Who starts tomorrow in the box-to-box DM role?
Yeah, I was actually looking at some tactical videos from that. Do you know those like Atlantis football channels and that? Yeah, I was watching. I actually heard the phrase box to box DM. So
yeah, and you should and you should have stopped watching after that, fam. You should have
exactly.
stopped watching after that, fam. DM, fam.
Babes, bro.
Mad. Absolute madness. I want to speak Paul Pogba. I know quite a few of you called the show.
By the way, Indiana is available at the back.
Is he in the background? We'll get him in as well here. There we go. I'm going to move Indiana up there because he hasn't got a camera on, so his face won't be blocked off then. I want to speak Paul Pogba. Should he start tomorrow?
No.
If he's fit, yes.
Yeah.
It's a bigger distraction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a bigger distraction. Like at the end of the day, like the comments were made. We all know the comments were made, whether it was last week, this week, whatever. We all know Pogba's feelings. Pogba so far, and I will give him this. I don't look at Pogba when he's on the pitch and say, oh, he's lazy, he's dogging it. Pogba so far has seemed to continuously play for us, even when he's on the pitch, even if he doesn't want to be here. There are days where he has bad days. I don't put that to him not wanting to be here. I just put that to he has bad days. In a game where we're going to be attacked and there's going to be a lot of space left behind, having a Pogba and a Bruno being able to just pick those passes, that's going to be a big difference. And if we don't start him, all we're going to hear is Pogba drop because of comments, Pogba this, negativity. Like,
thank you.
Get it. Let's just manage the team, go in there, pretend like you didn't hear anything, you don't care, play the team that's going to win the game.
Yeah,
I agree with Cam, because you drop Pogba tomorrow, like he said, it's just gonna add more fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Pogba drop because of this, that, and the other, and it's a knee-jerk reaction. What? Because someone's agent made comments, you're gonna drop him, man. Because if that's the case, then drop Van der Beek as well, because his agent made comments at the start of the season. Don't play him.
Exactly.
He hasn't.
See what I mean?
I agree with Cam.
Here's the thing, though. The reason why there's two reasons why I'm saying no. First of all, start him, not start him. It don't matter. Like, he will get talked about anyway. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm saying don't start him, because if he does have a bad game, if he does not play well, if he does have one of those games where he's trying and things don't come off, again, all it will be is, Paul Pogba's thrown down in tools, Paul Pogba's doing this on the pitch, mutiny, all these, the virus, all those things will come back.
But it would have happened anyway, even if he didn't make the comments.
Listen. You know, guys, I'm Paul Pogba's biggest fan in it. But right now, I'm trying to save him from himself and the media right now. You know what I'm saying? Him going on that pitch here and being like, and if he balls out, I would be happy. I'll be saying, yeah, I see you guys. Screw you, man. But I'm just thinking about what we need against this team. And Paul Pogba, against a high-pressing team right now, like Leipzig, is he the answer?
For that reason, I will not start him.
If you play him high up the park, yes.
Yeah, but Ollie won't do that. That's the issue here. Ollie won't play him at number 10 high up the park, which
KJ, I wouldn't start him for the reasons being is we have no Cavani, we have no Martial. Pogba is probably our best player when in terms of impact, because you know Bruno's going to start, right? Bruno is going to start. So
I don't think that's a definite Indiana.
I think it is.
Bruno's
yeah, he's rested for today, fam. He was rested.
Bruno starts. But the thing is with Paul Pogba, he's a bigger game changer for me than Van der Beek is. He's a much bigger game changer. I think he's more likely to go with Van der Beek, Matic. I'm saying two up top with Greenwood and Rashford, and Scott McTominay, and then Pogba comes on and has that impact when the game opens up a little bit more. That's where Pogba will just run the game.
You know what I think is interesting about all this? I think there's pros and cons to starting him and not starting him. I personally would myself, because I think we're going to have lots of opportunities to knock the ball in behind, and we're going to need somebody with that passing quality. No disrespect to McTominay, he doesn't have it. I want someone more mobile than Matic. So there's tactical reasons. The frustration I have about this situation is these comments here that James Ducker is releasing. It is understood that Paul Pogba would prefer the sort of playmaking role that Bruno Fernandes has made his own. And do you know what annoys me about these kind of comments? It's what I've been talking about on here for months. Football, we do make it easy now as football fans for the media to create these headlines because they know that there is a rift within the Man United ranks of fans between Bruno and Pogba. Like, Man United fans have created this weird fake notion that Bruno and Pogba are enemies, stirred the pot. So now this comment has come out, and whether it's true what James Ducker is saying or not, you now create this notion of the reason, and this is how the Pogba FC will push it, which means Bruno gets more abuse, which means Ollie gets more abuse. It's, see, Bruno Fernandes is the reason now that Paul Pogba is leaving. And Bruno Fernandes was purchased by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That means Ollie is forcing him out. They will then, the one guy's comment I read under James Ducker's tweet was any top-level manager could find a system to play both Pogba and Bruno as attacking midfield players. It's because Ollie's a bad manager and Pogba wants to leave. That is what Mino Raiola has done. So I want Pogba to play because we need his ability. But anybody that defends the actions of the Pogba camp and Mino Raiola over the timing of this is deluding themselves. Because the difference is with Ronnie van der Beek, he's new. There isn't this like narrative that's already been created that Bruno is here to replace and oust and push him out. Equally, there are not Man United fans using Donny van der Beek to bang Pogba over the head with and create a rift. And that's my issue with this whole thing. It's so clear to see what was going to happen. And now that Mino Raiola has done it, the media are already writing them headlines. And it's just now going to be set up and this backdrop's there. And it's a horrible environment to be in. I think what Ollie needs to do is stamp his authority. And I think playing the player in the position that he wants him to be in is perfect. Because then Pogba's got two responses. Put in a performance and help us get through the round, or put in an absolute disaster class. And if he puts in a disaster class, then Mino Raiola has set him up for failure, and he'll never recover from that as a Man United player. So for me, I play him, and then we see what Pogba's made of. He doesn't have to be brilliant in his execution. He has to be flawless in his in his application of what he's trying.
No, but Terry, this is the issue.
That is to me what needs to happen now.
That's what we should be expecting. But we know what the Pogba. You got the other side, the Bruno FC and the Pogba anti-Pogba haters. Yeah. They has to be perfect tomorrow. He has to place. He has to have 100% pass accuracy, 100% of through balls. That's the problem. He's gonna have 2 goals, 2 assists, most defensive tackles. He right now, poor Pogba in their eyes can do no right. So this is the thing. Like, we on here got sensible heads. We understand Paul Pogba's abilities and what he has done is not right, but we understand where he can fit into the team and in this game. But the Pogba haters ain't having it. He could literally do a hat-trick of assists and score a hat-trick, and that still won't be enough. And that's my worry about the fan base right now.
Yeah,
that will be the case.
They'd literally say, "Why didn't you do that last game?"
That's literally wasn't in the last game.
Yeah, and I do get that. But what I will say is this: that is not on Ollie. That is not on Bruno. That is on Pogba in camp because Pogba could even shut this down tonight by tweeting saying, "Listen, my agent has spoken out of turn. That isn't how I feel. Big game tomorrow. Let's go." One tweet.
Can I ask you this? And unless I'm wrong, and please correct me if I am. Has there ever been an instance where an agent has said something and a player literally came out hours after and shut it down?
The Lukaku sacked Mino Raiola for doing pretty much the same thing what he done today.
Yeah. Lukaku sacked him. He got rid of him in what was Rock Nation. It happened with Bruno recently. Bruno did it. So the reports were on Sport Witness. I'll never forget reading it. It was like Bruno was looking tired at United. He had a big bust up with Ollie. It was a massive report that came out from multiple sources. And Bruno then took it upon himself to do an interview. He didn't just come out and say it. He did an interview saying, and I remember the quote because it was so powerful. He's like, "Don't ever lie about me or my colleagues again," is what he said. Yeah. He came out and denounced it.
Yeah, but that's denouncing the press.
I'm talking about the agent.
I get it. But I'm just saying like that there has been cases where players come out and at least denounce things. And a lot of the times it's not the
It's a good challenge.
That's
My
what
point
saying, though. Pogba could come out and squash this completely. He could come out and just be like, "Yo, don't listen to this guy." Or you could just say like, "Look, we're gonna go our separate ways." You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're about to play probably one of the biggest games of our season. We win, we go through, then we get our city rivals. So why is this poison coming out? Just shut it down.
Because I'm trying to have 2 point of views here. Obviously, I understand your point of views when you're saying that, you can come out and shut it down. But then I'm like, okay, cool. If he if I say, yeah, Pogba has to come out and shut down his agent's comments, or that means he's got the same views and all these things, and I'm just thinking, okay, if he has to come out and satisfy my feelings, he has to come out and satisfy every other United fan's feelings around the world. And I'm just like, does he really have to do that?
But it isn't my feelings as a person. It's my view as a professional footballer. And the one caveat and challenge I'd have back is this: how often do you see agents making these comments on the eve of a massive game? That's the thing. If this was said during the summer, if this was said during an international break, there wouldn't be much of an issue.
No, there still would, because
no. There wouldn't be.
There would, because it's Pogba.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be as bigger issues as there is it being on the eve of a big game.
Exactly.
This is almost identical to the 2 days before we played City when they were meant to win the league, and Pogba had a brilliant game. And my hope is, by the way,
it happens again.
This galvanizes things. I also hope that it turns out that Mino Raiola didn't say it and the media have lied, by the way. Like, that's my point. Like, come out and say, you could protect yourself and your agent by saying media are bullshit. That isn't what was said at all. It was, and by the way, it could be
to come out of it by now.
And that's my point. And when there's silence, that tells me that you agree with it.
No one makes it worse.
Pogba doesn't really come out
But then you've got. Yeah, go on, Aninka. Sorry.
Yeah, Pogba is the type of guy who will come out to defend this stuff. Like what you saw happen with the Sun article lately. That's like the only instance that I remember of him coming out and defend and putting down the news article that came out with the
It's probably the first and only time so far.
Yeah.
Regardless of this, though, he needs to
go on,
sack this agent.
He
needs
won't
to get rid of this agent. He gets enough heat as it is. Like, his agent does him no favors at all.
Yeah, he's the thing about Lincoln. Sorry, bits and bobs. Lincoln, to your point though, the reason why he came out about that wasn't to do with football. It's to do with his faith.
That's the reason why I came out.
But that's the thing. Paul Pogba does not speak on football matters really, unless it's away on friends.
Talking
on the pitch.
Yeah, he spoke about wanting.
He's done it multiple times.
He has done it.
What?
I'm saying this. I love Paul Pogba as a player, and if he starts tomorrow, I will cheer for him. If he has a bad game, he'll get the same level of criticism I give anybody that gets a bad game. I'm not biased in that regard. It's just, in my opinion, and of course I'm biased because it's my football club. I find the behavior of his agent, and in turn him, because they're all part of the same team, as reprehensible at this point, and I can't get my head around it. I don't want him to be abused. I don't want him to be booed. I don't want him to be mistreated. I don't want him to be scapegoated if things go wrong for us. But he's done himself no favors whatsoever, and I believe now he wants to leave. I felt it for a while now, and just doing it at this point is just a madness to me. But we know Mino Raiola don't care, and
Mino Raiola is a terrorist. I told you, he's like Jose.
Super chat here that says not backing what Paul Pogba did, but it's not a coincidence that everyone who leaves speaks about how bad the board is. Remember, Raiola said Oli made promises. And that's true. They do. But most Pogba lovers, Pogba FC, hate Oli. And they blame Oli for our problems, not the board. The irony in that tweet is amazing. Because if it is the board, then I need you to get off Oli's back and start attacking them and not him.
Wait, the reason, when he came out and said, I'm ready for a new challenge, that's because they said to him that he could leave.
Yes.
They said he could leave.
Yeah, they probably had a conversation.
And then what happened is, as the summer went on, them man strong-armed him, you know what I'm saying? They outpriced him out of a move, and then he had to stay here. And it's kind of like one of those ones where it's like, the way he reacted. This is why I won't defend Paul Pogba. The way he reacted in terms of his performances after that point weren't the greatest. Even when we beat Chelsea 4-0, he got 2 assists. Did he look happy? Did he look impressed? Did he look part of the team? No, I remember Harry Maguire having to drag him into the huddle celebration. So the way he was acting at that point, I was not happy with. But you can't deny that all our issues lead to one place. But no one want to chat about that. Anyway.
No, bro, and I totally get that. But I need to then keep the same energy, don't I? Because I'm not happy with the way the board treated Jose. But equally, Jose's reaction to that was equally. And I'm looking at this from a professional standpoint. You know, your boss could disrespect you at work and upset you. Doesn't mean you're allowed like this. It's childish behavior to say, well, I'm going to act unprofessionally because I was treated unprofessionally. Anyone who has that attitude will fail. wherever they are. You can't go through life doing that. You know, it's just a madness. Oh, my boss was late by 10 minutes. Tomorrow, I'm going to be late by 10 minutes. Not an attitude. But that's what's happening here. If you're going to give him the board are bad so he can misbehave. No, I don't, you don't stoop to that. I don't know what your parents taught you, but me, it was don't stoop to other people's levels. You know, my dad would always, if your mate Johnny jumped off a cliff, would you jump with him? No, then why you he does? And that's why it's not it just isn't an excuse for me. It's wrong. And for any player to do it, it's wrong. And comment here from Danny Super Chat says, big up the panel. How's everyone? Sorry, I'm late. Not a problem.
All good, man.
We've done a lot of streams on the Football Terrace today, so I'm not surprised people ain't been notified on this one. But yeah, look, the Paul. Do any of you think he'll stay after this, or do you think that's it now?
Oh, no, man, he's gone.
I think he's staying.
Done.
I think he's staying.
Guys, we
wait.
as a replacement. He's always gone. He was always gone. I don't know why anybody thought otherwise.
Yo, Cam, I'm not having this. Van der Beek won't put in for. He won't put in for no replacement. He won't. No,
I'm telling you.
No. I get it. It makes sense that he was brought into the replacement, but our board don't know sense.
It wasn't the board. It was Ollie. I'm telling you. I know this because
it makes sense, KJ.
The conversations were had.
Listen, I'm not saying it don't make sense.
KJ, listen. If conversations were had and they were reported, and Donnie said he was happy with the conversation he had with Ollie, he was told about his role. It was going to be in the 10. We all know Bruno Fernandes is not going to be dropped ever. So how was he going to be a 10 at any point in time unless Paul Pogba is gone? So I have a feeling that Ollie always knew that this situation was untenable, especially after he was mad he didn't get the move. Eventually he was going to have to move him. You're right. I don't think for a second that the board had this idea. I think Ollie was like, listen, you're going to have to sell Paul Pogba. I need a midfielder this year instead of you panicking next year and having to replace him. Get me somebody suitable now. Van der Sar picked up the phone and said, hey, do you want Donny van de Beek? And Ollie was like, oh, the answer to my prayers. That's what I think.
Listen, if Ollie did that,
Aaron's having none of it.
I don't know. If Ollie did that there, I respect it for it. But the way the summer went, we already knew Ollie went. He wanted Jack Grealish, he wanted Sancho, and he wanted a centre back. And that is where I'm kind of like, Van der Beek, as much as he's a great signing, and I really love Van der Beek, this is not me taking anything away from Van der Beek. How can I trust that this is actually what Ollie really
Can I counter that, though? So what I believe is, I do agree, and I believe we've all talked about this. I think Ollie had a list, like most managers will. They had a list, and his list consisted of Jack Grealish and then Donny van de Beek. I think he couldn't get Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish was actually going to be the person to replace, but I always think Ollie's plan was to get somebody in this summer to make sure he was good for when Pogba left, whether it was Van de Beek or not. And I agree with you. Maybe they didn't have that, but I truly believe whether it was Grealish or Van de Beek who were on that list, they were always going to be bought because Pogba was not going to be part of that team. You couldn't play a Jack Grealish, a Paul Pogba, and a Bruno, right? You can't play a Van de Beek, a Bruno, and so obviously they were always planning for him to go. That's what I believe.
I think Man United have known that the Pogba situation was fairly untenable. The reason he stayed, and this is, I'll go back to KJ's earlier point. I don't think United stuck a crazy price on it. What I always read from some fairly credible people was Man United said you can go, but they've got to meet our valuation. And then it depends how you want to spin these things. So David De Gea, in my opinion, looked at Real Madrid's lateness, not meeting the asking price, and the fax machine nonsense as a, you don't really want me, do you? Man United do. I'm going to put my heart and soul into this. Pogba, and I'm not just saying him, and maybe his people, they view it as maybe they do view it as, no, actually, you've outpriced me. You didn't accept the bid that came in. Rare. I don't want to be here because you've done that. You've scuppered me. It just depends on what, and this is the thing with points of view. We could all see the same story and read it. And some of you might say United have priced him out of a move. Others will say, well, Real Madrid don't really want him because they haven't met the asking price. It does become a what side of the fence you sit on in relation to that. Man like Neek Sports is with us now as well, completing.
Who can afford him though? Yeah.
Well, mate, listen, there's money. There's money out there. This whole thing that football's broke is mad. Fans are coming back now. Sponsors are going crazy. There's money there to be had, and if his valuation drops, so does everybody else. It becomes. This is the thing. If 20% comes off all players, then he's not actually cheaper. If 20% of the football money falls out of football, and he's 20% cheaper, he's not because there's less money. It's relative, if that makes sense. So I'm wouldn't be too concerned. I want to move on to another subject about Man United. We are being classed at the moment by some people as a two-man team. Without Rashford and without Bruno Fernandes, we can't perform. Do any of you buy into that notion that Man United are purely a two-man team, and if Bruno and Rashford don't play, we're absolutely dog? Is that what a two-man team?
First things first. Yeah.
Or is that normal? Is that normal that your best players?
Yeah, Aaron, I'll say two things and I'll be done. No, because apparently Marcus Rashford is Marcus Trashford and he's not good and he's unintelligent. And two, Bruno Fernandes is Bruno Fernandes. He can't play football. He's crap and he only can score pens. So if we can't be a two-man team if they're so bad.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I've said it before. I've said it before. Like, obviously Bruno Fernandes, people are just hating on the guy, innit? People are just hating on the guy. But do you know what? To be fair, when it comes to penalties, I've always preferred his long-range penalties. I've always said that. You know, them ones that he scores from four, like, you know, the ones he bangs in outside the box, I like them long-range penalties. I like them a lot.
Same, man. Same.
Rashford, he's do you know what I mean? He's doing his stuff, man. Very quietly. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I still fear for the guy. I don't want him to be overused, but he does his thing in it. Like, the numbers speak for themselves.
The pain in the voice. The pain.
You know, no, listen. Credit where it's due, innit? He's still Sir Marcus Rashford, MBE, Doctor, all of these things.
He's going to be Aaron when he finishes saying this nice stuff about Rashford.
Listen, credit where it's due, man. Rashford's doing his thing, man. Him and Bruno, difference makers against West Ham, innit? You can't deny that. So, to be honest, I want him to bang in goals again tomorrow against Leipzig. Do you know what I mean? Put him through. Do you know? To be fair, when Cavani was playing, I've always said, yeah, I don't think I've said it here on the terrace, but I've said I prefer Rashford playing on the right because you only give him two options.
What did I say?
So, what's that?
No, I said that to Indiana today.
Yeah. So
we had this conversation.
I prefer when Rashford plays on the right because you give him two options when he's got the ball and he's running at, you know, defenders. He either crosses it in or he shoots at the goal. Two options, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. None of that cutting in business. And do you know what I mean? Two options: you shoot or you cross. And if you cross, Cavani's going to be there.
Oh, remember those two goals he assisted for Pogba? The first one against Chelsea in the FA Cup when man did a 1-2 with PP, ran down the line, whipped it in, diving header. And then the second one, the one against Bournemouth from the right-hand side, did a little it makes my man, or got my man, did a little elastico,
but listen,
and then whipped it in.
Hear this though. Yeah. And I deeped it and I said, I put it in the group chat on Sunday and I woke up and I deeped it. I was like, yo, we are dead, but we are fourth with a game in hand and a few points off top. Bruv, can you imagine the gas, the propaganda's already started. Bruno Fernandes is better than Kevin De Bruyne. Let's get that straight. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that straight.
I don't think we're a two-man team. Imagine taking out Maguire and Lindelof or Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. Like, the difference is these players have to play. Like, they have to play. Whereas we've got more options in the midfield.
I don't think it's any different. So there's I know this was shared earlier in the group chat. It's kind of like this one-man, two-man team thing is just, for me, it's been around for a while. The first time I really heard it come to fruition was when we signed RVP. And it was United won the league because of RVP. You're a one-man team without RVP. It's like, well, we won it like 12 times without him. But okay, we can only win with him. When you speak to professional footballers, and Bits and Bobs was one, Aaron, you were, no matter who your best player in your team was, without everybody else around them, they can't do it. Like, they don't need support. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Some say the greatest ever. Some say the best in the world in the last 10 years. But one of the greatest footballers ever. Look how angry he was when Real Madrid got rid of Ozil. Why? Because Ozil was feeding him. So without Ozil feeding him, he weren't scoring as many goals. Would Messi have been as potent if Xavi and Iniesta weren't running the midfields and keeping hold of that ball so much? If you took 20% of the ball away from Barca, like now, he ain't scoring as many. Like he's
exactly.
He's still the best, one of the best players in the world. And I just want to show these stats, okay, on Rashford for a minute, and then look at the other players that he's similar to, and imagine them not playing for their teams, and tell me whether losing them makes them a one-man, two-man team. So when you look at this here, this is since the start of last season. Okay, goal and assist contributions per 90 minutes since the beginning of last season. Marcus Rashford, 36 goals and 20 assists. You've got Son, who everyone calls world class. Imagine him not playing for Tottenham regularly. You take out Mo Salah and Sadio Mane that are in there from Liverpool. How would they do? Take away Riyad Mahrez and Sterling from Manchester City. How are they getting on in the last cup? Where would they be? How much further down the league would they be? Now, I think for me, you put Bruno into this list as Man United's two. They are two best players in the last 18 months in terms of productivity in front of goal. But why are Man United coined as a two-man team when our attacking players deliver, but every other team they get looked at as a well-oiled machine, with those men just being the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake, finishing it off? For me, it's so disrespectful to the players. It's unbelievable.
But
Where's
yeah,
Aubameyang and Tiny?
let me just say, I think, yeah, of course, it's very disrespectful. As you said, when it came to Van Persie, people said it to us in 2013. A few years later, David De Gea, it was a one-man team. Without David De Gea, we would have been mid-table. Some people went even further, relegation battle, because obviously he was pulling off save after save under Van Gaal, and even to an extent under Jose Mourinho as well. The reality is, isn't it? You have to make your mind up. Either Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford are the two best players in the world who are dragging a whole team into the Champions League by themselves, or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a damn good manager, because he's getting a bunch of a 23-man squad plus Bruno Fernandes and Rashford into third, into the Champions League, top of the group of death, all of that. It's one of the two. Either the two players are the best two in the world, or the manager is that good. Like Ferguson, because remember, when we won in 2013, that team was crap.
Do you know, I've said that.
I'm gonna say this here as well.
Go on, Aaron.
It's one of the two.
I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna echo what Neeks is saying here, bro. Obviously, you guys know my thoughts on Ollie, bro. But if we beat City, I'm gonna start speaking about the title, bro. I don't care. I don't, bro.
I agree.
Conversation, bro.
Time to go! I love you. Aaron, this is the Aaron I like. I like this.
Listen,
you know what?
we've been crap, yeah, and I fully admit that we haven't been playing well. The performances haven't been there. We obviously got wins and stuff, but it hasn't been great. But if we beat City, man, you have to count us in for that title. Like, how can we be crap and be up there? Like, come on, man.
Do you know what's mad about it? Well, when you have players in the form that Rashford's been in now for nearly 2 years, you actually go back to December when Ollie came in through till now and look at his goal. It's about 60 odd games, and he scored it and created in about 80% of them. Bruno is just doing a madness. When you have players performing at that level, you always have a chance of something. If you go back and look at most teams when they win things, there's always a player or two that are just performing crazy levels. But Neeks is onto a point there. Take it away from Ollie for a minute. Fernandes and Rashford can't be Fernandes and Rashford and a two-man team with this high win percentage and all these goals.
This is what I said. This.
You know what? Neeks has heard me say this many, many times. I've said it live on the air many times. When people have agendas, it always comes back to bite them in the arse, because they change. They do have hope. Every week they change their opinion to win. They always try to win the battle. They try and win every single battle rather than trying to win the war at the end of it. So they will always yield. Everyone knows I assess people on the eye test, but when it comes down to two top level players, statistics come into it. And if you've got Rashford versus Raheem Sterling, we're doing a comparison. I think they're both equal in many ways. Both got different things that they're better at than each other, but they're both elite level players. So how do you compare the best? You have to look at it statistically. It's the only way to break and differentiate. By the way, that's how the Premier League is decided who wins the trophy, isn't it? Like all these top level teams play against each other, and the one with the best stats at the end of the season wins. Like, it's a fact. So for me, this is why I find it so funny that we're now being called a two-man team. But it still shows the media bias and the hatred that we have as a club, and that's why I love Man United. When we're not playing well, it's Fernandes, Rashford, rare. When we start doing well, it's what a horrible two-man team. And if you look on Saturday, ESPN did two videos, one after the other. One about Chelsea, one about Man United. Obviously, at the time, when they posted ours, we'd gone level on points with Chelsea with a game in hand. And it was Man United 2-man team, save Ollie. Lampard won, and Chelsea when they won was Chelsea flying high after Lampard rejuvenation. And it's like both teams at the same
They
level.
changed it, by
I
the
say,
way.
weren't the games
They
identical as well?
updated it. They
Wait.
updated it, by the way.
To what?
But what
They
did they say
changed
about
it
us,
to
though?
Bruno and Rashford
Adored,
dominating.
never
Oh,
adored.
yeah.
They changed
Yeah, but the
it
thing
because
is,
of
yeah,
that.
you know, with that, yeah, you know, it's funny. Chelsea and United had exactly the same game that time. We both went 1-0 down to the opposition team, and we both came back to win 3-1. What's the difference? Tell me.
And West Ham, by the way, are higher in the league.
We're
than
Man
Leicester.
United. That's why.
Oh, and mate, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I love it, brother. And this is when I sit there sometimes, and you know, even Man United fans have been on Rashi's back for 2 years, and I remember doing a video, and somebody turned around, and they were like, they tried to I didn't actually say he's going to be as good as Thierry Henry. They twisted my words. I basically said I think Rashford's got the ability and quality to get into the tier 1 level of Premier League legends, which includes people like Thierry Henry. I think he's got the ability to do that based on what he'd done at a young age in a very average team. And ever since then, I've been getting people I've just seen one by one people change their minds, go, oh, Rashford's really good. But the people I love the most are the ones who are digging their heels in now, and you can see the pain in their face every time Rashford performs, and they're sort of sitting there and they're like, oh, when's the best time for me to join the Rashford fan club, or is it too late for me? And I'm seeing that with Gooners at the minute. You know, that's why I got a lot of respect for Troops. Troops did a very clever thing yesterday. Troops got out of the Arteta in club very quickly and sharply, whilst you still got the DTs and that are in it. And he's like, oh, I'm out now, which means he can be as brutal as he wants and as honest as he wants. The longer they stay in the Arteta in club, the harder it is to get out.
I told you.
Done that to half the Man United fan base. All the men that were like, so I respect Saeed. Saeed a year ago called him a championship player. Saeed quickly was like, I got that wrong. Let me admit I'm wrong. So that I can now praise him and enjoy him as an example. Saeed's a smart guy. He got out quickly. The only other way around it is to do a rant, where you dig your heels in and go, I don't care if Rashford scores 60 goals a season, I'm still going to call him Crash Bandicoot. Like that, because you've made your feelings clear that nothing's changed in your mind. But I like watching all the, like eye test. I can't wait for the day when eye test phones this show and says, Terry, I was wrong about Rashford.
That's never happening. That's never happening.
You know, you always see when my guy, yeah, never calls when we win, never calls when Rashford scores goals. As soon as he doesn't score, as soon as we lose, he's the first one to call up. I test, bro. I know you're watching, fam. Come call up.
He's not a Man United fan. He's not a Man United fan. He's a consumer. He's a consumer. That's what he is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is I test like your little brother or something? Maybe your cousin, like.
No.
Okay, cool. Just making sure, innit? Just making
It might
sure
be
you're like,
Aaron. He's pretty good at impressions, you know.
oh, that's true.
Is that your burner account? Because you made that exact point earlier today about why is it when Rashford and Bruno or Martial and Rashford are playing well, Ollie gets no credit. It's not like they're just brilliant players. But when Son and Harry are going off, you hear about Jose, which it happens with even Mason Mount and Frank Lampard right now. I've been seeing a lot of Chelsea fans finally being like, okay, Frank Lampard's doing a good job keeping Mason Mount in, but he gets the credit. Ollie, I don't understand our fan base, man. I don't get it at all. It's
Listen, you know what happens is people have made a point and they've taken a stand. So the stand is Ollie has no tactics. Therefore, nothing unless you are literally in that dressing room looking at the whiteboard, nothing is ever going to convince you that Solskjaer has tactics. So anything that does happen
He did not say that.
Anything that does happen is individual brilliance. It's just a moment or whatever it might be. But you know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm over it. I've challenged it at the first few times, but some people are going to be stuck in whatever ways they're going to be, whether it's about a player, whether it's about a manager, whether it's about a club, whatever it might be. I can only just either celebrate when Man United win or criticize when we lose and keep it losing. It really is, Indiana. It really is.
That's why I've changed tack now. It's why I ask people the question, because style of play is a preference thing, and we're all gonna have we all like different music, foods, women, whatever it may be, guys, whatever your preference, right? However, win percentage. The win percentage is the ultimate barometer. How many games out of 10 can Ollie win for you to be happy? State whatever it is. Now, if they say 9, because the standards are that high. Now, no one does that over a body of games. The highest win percentage I think in of all current Premier League managers is Pep at 71%. So if you set the bar that high, we know it's stupid and unrealistic because no one's ever done that. If they say, 6 out of 10, and the man's achieving 6.5, 7 out of 10, then you've got no room to moan. But nobody likes to put facts down like that because there's no context. Do you get what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of people say, like, if Ollie doesn't make top 4, it's got to go. And I'm like, well, let's just slow down a minute. Look at the league. Just go and stare at the league table for 5 minutes. We could come 5th this year, but finish 4 points off top. Then there's no reason to sack him because you nearly. Do you know what I mean? Context is always needed.
But I was saying it. Judge a manager at the end. Like, judge him at the end of the season. Obviously, if halfway through you're in a really precarious position, the same if I say about Arteta, like for example, it's not. Yeah, exactly. For me, if at New Year you're sitting in 15th, then you might have to go in it. You say, you know what? Even if we were to, when Jose left, obviously we know those things happen behind the scenes, but we were so far from top 4. That there was no chance under that regime that we were going to recover the season. You had to say, you know what, it's time to move on. But other than that, if you're just within, the fight for whatever the minimum expectation is, give it to the end of the season. It's not the end of this is not the last season of football ever. Yes. It's really not. Like, give it to the end of the season.
Yo, listen.
Then you move on.
The only agendas we need to be seeing is getting that Wallad out and them pagans gone from that beanhead and them man there. That's the only agenda I want to see.
You know what the issue is?
That's the only agenda.
Do you know what the issue is? If this ends up being a really tight season and we do go out the Champions League, not when we go out the Champions League, if we do, maybe we might win it. Danny has something to say on that. But if we end up 5th by a point, the problem is they might actually sack Ollie because he didn't make the top 4.
They might do. They sacked LVG when we lost out on top 4 on goal difference. Yeah,
it's all about contextual. For me, it's not how far we are of 4th; it's how far we are away from 1st at that point. So, like I've said, if you're 20 points off 1st and you're coming 5th, then sack him. But if you come 5th, but you're only 6 points off top, and the team that wins it at Liverpool, that we were 30 odd points behind the year before, it might be more detrimental to rock the apple cart by changing managers. It's all about trajectory and the direction you're moving in, which is why win percentages are important because you can measure that. Like, how many games out of 10 are you winning? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? And I think that's what I challenge fans on that, because I can't be bothered debating what style of football you want to see a manager play, because I've been talking about it for 4 years and everyone has a different view. So let's just get rid of that and go, how many games out of 10 do you want him to win for you to be happy? And then then watch people freeze and be like, now I actually have to say something that I can be held to. Because when you talk style of football, and we know this, we watch other people's streams. Whenever we play well, it's players being brilliant. Whenever we play badly, it's the bad tactics. You can never win the argument. They can never lose it because it's arbitrary. It's vague. It's just there's no specificity to any of it. As soon as you get specific with people, they go, I can't answer. They can't answer it. Because they know they have an agenda. So
I don't know if I missed it. I don't know if I missed it earlier, but in terms of the game tomorrow, if we don't go through, it's a possibility. I don't really want to delve into it, but if we don't go through, obviously Ollie out will be trending. Let's get that on the table right now. It'll be trending. Do we believe it's a sackable offense to not qualify from this Champions League group?
No, not when the people that are calling Ollie out said we wouldn't get out of the group. It's madness.
If we had a group like Man City's and we don't get out of the group, man's got to go, innit? Because that's unacceptable. But
here's the thing: I don't see it as a bad thing, though. Do you see it as a really bad thing? If we,
yes,
it'd be great. It'd be great to go. It'd be great to carry on in the Champions League. It'd be great. Obviously, it'd be amazing to win it. But I don't. For this season, the way it is, how tight it is. Yeah, I really feel the teams that go out of competitions are going to have more.
Indiana.
We're going out from one to the next. Yeah, that's what Champions League to Europa.
If we had the chance of going 4th and not being in anything, I would take that. Then the Europa League.
I wouldn't take. The Europa League. Yes,
then Europa League, fam. Then Europa League over that, because right now in this situation, we have to qualify a Champions League. I don't want to go back to Thursday night.
Listen, I'm saying it now. I'm joining. Sorry, mate. Go on, KJ. Go on.
Yeah. 2, I don't want our team going to Russia or Uzbekistan or whatever country they're playing in.
Yeah, this is true.
And 3, the schedule.
Man. Shout out to the
you guys are amazing out there, but I just don't want to go there. And 3, it will just mess up. Like the season's already congested as it is. Imagine playing Thursday night football in this. Nah, fam.
Oh, look what's happening to Arsenal. I hear that. I'm joining Aaron's group though here. If we beat Leipzig and we beat City, we win in the league.
I'm with that group.
No, but listen, guys. Like people have to start. If we do that, yeah, people have to start taking us serious.
I'm
like,
in that
come
group.
on, man.
Yeah, wait. Here's the question, Aaron. Here's the question. If we beat Leipzig, actually no. If we beat Leipzig and Man City, is that you saying you will back Ollie for the rest of the season?
No.
Why? Why?
I like it.
Aaron didn't even blink.
Yo,
we had them in the first half.
You see,
like
you all know that Shannon Sharp meme minute that goes.
Yeah. All right,
No,
listen.
fam.
So basically, what you're saying is, if we win those 2 games, you think we'll win. You're saying we can win the league, but it don't matter that Ollie's the manager. Like it's just we got to win the league. Ollie don't count.
I'm guessing if he actually wins it, something might change. If he actually goes and wins it, maybe
it won't. No, it won't. Do you know what? If he needs,
I think something might change.
do you know what? If he needs, it'd be if we had a better manager, we could have done the treble. That's what it is. I'm not even joking.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Comment here. One sec. Zach here says, Terry, you sugarcoat everything. I hate this guy. He hates me. He thinks Rashford is amazing. He's just above average and is a passenger in most games. Zach, if you're watching my channel, you hate me. So, hi. Hope you're well. Hope you're good, brother.
Wait. He says, I hate this guy. He thinks. Who's he? Oh, he's talking about Terry.
He's saying Terry.
He's talking about Terry. Oh, okay.
I know. You hate me so much. You comment on nearly every video I do. You poor man. I hope you find peace.
You're Zaki, yeah. You're Zaki. If Rashford's just a passenger, yeah, he's the best passenger known to man because man gets his winners, fam. So let him ride all the way, fam.
He can hate on Rashford all he wants, yeah, but at the end of the day, man's top scorer in the Champions League, so who cares?
The pain. The pain.
Who cares?
It's one of them.
So poor.
Exactly. There you go.
And yes, Damien, just so you know, yes, my laugh is fake. 100%. When the cameras are off, I don't laugh like that. That's not my laugh at all. And I used to set up a certain Man United fan channel that always says my laugh is fake. It's just, listen, just because I got character, bro. Just because I do something natural that makes people laugh.
Yeah.
And I don't pretend to fall off chairs. You know what I mean? It's just all good, bro. It's all
I want
good.
to ask the guys who are Ollie in here because I'm Vibes FC, so I don't really care what happens to my man. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, what would it take to be Ollie out then? If we're asking Aaron, what would it take to be Ollie in? It's only fair to ask you guys, what would it take to be Ollie out?
Can I go first on this?
Go on, Dan.
I'd like to say, firstly, I'm not Ollie in, I'm manager in. When I say that, it's because I need to see this board change. I need to see them back a manager all the way through in the markets, everything, and build a team. You can't knock Ollie for what he's doing. For me, Ollie out is just wasted energy. I don't know why that's even going on. It's just wasted energy. For me to say Ollie out, I have to see us drop off for a long period.
No. You got what is that? What does that look like? Like Terry said, specifics. What does his win percentage have to drop to for you to be Ollie out?
In a season like this, it's got to be 55, 50.
Ooh.
Oh, you mean as in points?
No, 55% win ratio. So if he's
so win 1 out of 2 every game or something.
Yeah. Cameron.
Let me say, sorry.
So with me, I'm kind of the same as Indiana. It's like the same way I'm not any Martial or Pogba FC or anything like that. I'm about the club. Like no player, no manager, nobody's above the club. That's how I think in all sports. For me to be Ollie out, to say Ollie out, we would have to be kind of in an Arsenal situation where the situation just looks untenable. Like, where it just looks like nothing is going right. If I'm going to be honest, like right now, all these love it. Right now, he's had ups and downs, yes, and that's due to some of the players. That's due to him. That's due to a lot of things. I do believe Ollie is learning on the job. I've never seen that as a problem. A lot of Man United fans have. Why do we have a manager who's learning on the job X, Y, Z? At the end of the day, a manager who's learning on the job has what? Got us in the Champions League, has got us into a chance of being top of the group, has got us top 3, has done all of these things, yet he's learning on the job. Okay, cool. So what happens when he's the finished article? That's what I want to see. I want to see him see out his contract. We gave him a contract. And the only way I'm Ollie out is if we are literally not challenging for Europe at all. If there's no chance of us getting into Europa, then it's like something's gone terribly wrong.
Oh, Europa is on. It's not Champions League.
No. For me, it's Europa. If you can't even get us into Europa League, where we have a chance to get into Champions League, because at the end of the day, like, I liked the Europa League when we won it. It was fun. That's me. That's it for me.
I just can't wait to see Scott McTominay walking around Old Trafford with a Champions League and Premier League trophy, bruv. It's going to be peak.
All right, listen, you're Neeks. What you saying?
I'm gonna keep it simple. I've never claimed to be Ollie in, but I'll never be Ollie out. I'll never be Ollie out unless Solskjaer disrespects Manchester United. I will never be, and I was never Jose out. Terry will tell you that. I was never Jose out. I was never LVG out. Manchester United as a football club haven't backed any manager properly since the Glazers came in. So for me to judge a manager holistically is not nearly impossible, because they've always been working with one hand tied behind their backs. So I feel for me to then judge them and say you're not good enough to do this job anymore gives the impression that they've been given the tools to do the job and they're proving they can't do it. So until a manager, whether that be Solskjaer or whoever, is given what I feel is the tools to give the job, I can't judge this manager holistically enough to say you are good enough or not good enough to do the job. If Solskjaer loses the Man United dressing room, whether it's by dragging people under the bus or and the players are vividly not playing for them like they stopped doing under Jose, that's the only time when I would accept and say, you know what, if he gets sacked, for example, if he gets sacked tomorrow, I can't complain, because the players lost the respect to the players. He's lost the lost the canteen lady. Maybe he lost the tea lady. Like, that's the only. So it's not, for me, it's not to do with a win percentage or not, because my defense of the managers wasn't based on a win percentage. So it's not going to be a drop in win percentage that's going to make me lose the faith in those managers.
Yeah, bits and bobs. What are you? Are you on the fence? Are you Ollie in, Ollie out?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was just shocked to hear Scott McTominay with a Champions League medal, man. So I'm still to be honest, for the Scottish play. No, I'm like Indiana and Neeks, really, to be honest. What happened to just backing your club, man, and just putting the seatbelt on and just go with the ride, bro? I mean, look, everyone saw what Flop done at Merseyside. So look, let's see what he's trying to do, man. I'm either Ollie in or Ollie out. I'm just backing Man United. When we win, we win. If we lose, we criticize and so on and so on. But like, let the guy manage, man, and let's just see what happens.
Oh, hey, you sound like Vibes FC, fam. Come on now.
Salute to you, bro. Because I just think, like, we all know football, and obviously Terry will hit us with stats and so on. Like, our team currently at the moment is winning. Okay, we're playing rubbish, but we're winning. Okay, so let's fuck the negativity. Just back your team, back the man that's in charge, put your seatbelt on, and enjoy the ride. Because I tell you what, as Aaron said, if we beat Leipzig tomorrow and then we beat City, hey, listen, I don't want to say the 3 words.
Bits and bobs.
It's coming home.
Oi, Lincoln. Are you're Ollie in?
So I'm not that Ollie in or Ollie out guy. I kind of reflect what Nick's in Indiana think. It's just
you're too busy moderating the chat, bro. That's why you didn't think about these things.
I'm too busy looking at other opinions in the chat than formulating my own. But I think I kind of I'm gonna kind of echo what Neeks was saying. If Ollie loses the dressing room, I think that's the thing. Like, there's a term in professional wrestling that we use, like when a wrestling match.
Wait.
Hey, let me land.
Wait. No, pause. Are you a professional?
Hang on a minute.
Are you a professional wrestler?
Mate, look at my tag. Wrestling's. I'm a wrestling.
Hang on a minute, bro. You telling me you're a grown adult that watches people pretend to hit each other?
All right, let's discuss it off stream. But let me just.
No, Lincoln, Terry asked you a question, bro. Terry asked you a question.
Do you watch Mr. Tumble as well? Do you watch the Teletubby? What is this? What other kids programs?
I'm just a guy that loves reviewing and watching wrestling. All right, we'll talk about.
Wait, no, but you said professional wrestlers. The term that professional wrestlers use, we say we. Are you a wrestler?
I'm a professional wrestling fan. I'm just
like Rikishi, bro.
There's a bubble that we're in.
That wrestler Rikishi or something. I don't know.
Rikishi.
Yeah, the blonde hair. I remember watching that. I was a kid, by the way, when I watched it. Do you know what I mean? No hair, bro.
Okay,
man,
so there's a term
and everything, man. I went to that as a grown.
Okay, as I was saying,
Daniel here, my biggest super chatter of the month.
Come on, Daniel. Come on.
I love wrestling.
Daniel.
I love wrestling. It's amazing. Big up yourself, you grown ass wrestling fan. Thank you, Daniel. What did it?
Finish your point.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. There's a term that we use. It's called go home. Like when a wrestling match is off and then they're just making mistakes here and there. Like just saying go home. Like if Ollie loses the dressing room and then he starts to lose it in wrestling. He starts to lose it in wrestling.
That old
Lincoln's face.
I'm sorry. That wrestling saying, fam.
I thought it was gonna be like a really kind of
deep.
Somebody's not performing, we say go home.
Yo, people in the comments get it trending. Hashtag Lincoln go home. Come on. Lincoln go home. Lincoln go home.
I don't know if you boys ever watched Only Fools and Horses. I don't know if you ever watched Only Fools and Horses, but there's a scene in one of the episodes where Trigger, he just comes out with these mad lines, says, he's a road sweeper, and he says, us road sweepers have an old saying about your broom. And I go, what's the saying? Goes, take care of your broom. And then somebody says, oh, what? And your broom will take care of you. He says, no, it's just take care of your broom. That's literally what he did. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
Wait, there's a comment.
Yeah. Okay, so basically what I was trying to say is that what?
This, Lincoln, that's what that was.
I thought we were going to get some deep Chinese wisdom.
No, it's just basically like what? If I see certain things about Ollie that we know that he's positive when we lose and positive when we win. It's like
so if Ollie. So if shut up, Prime. If you don't
what does he watch? What does he actually watch?
I don't know, man.
Wait, my man grew up watching the fireplace, fam, and there's no fire on it either. It's straight up cauldron, fam. Like that's all it was.
What? The fish channel.
I love you, Prime. I do.
It's mad, but yeah, Lincoln, bro. It's starting to trend.
Hey, I'm never going to talk about wrestling on the channel again. Do you subscribe to wrestling?
On a real level with wrestling, no. It's one of those sort of shows where what I do respect is someone who I trained to be a stuntman and whatever. That's what I was going to do as a profession. So I always respected the level of stunts, especially in the modern era. They do like some of the stuff they do in wrestling is crazy. I just like bantering adults that watch it because it's a giggle and it's a laugh. Because I love you say I've done this before. You say this to like I was in a pub once and this guy was talking about wrestling. He was in a work group and I went, oh, but they don't really hit each other, do they? Oh, it triggered him. Oh, he goes, yeah, I know it's not real, but people still accidentally get punched. They accidentally kick each other. They break their arms. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not real though, is it? Just say that to a wrestling fan. It's honestly, it's like red.
I never go with those conversations.
Mustard on a cat's ass. It's just amazing. They just go, mate. They're just on it. Absolutely on it.
It's like telling Terry Bruno is not the best cam in the world.
What, bro? Listen, everyone who's tuned in this evening, do me a big favor. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the retweet button. We're back tomorrow with more news for you. Of course, live after the Leipzig Man United game, and I don't know whether we're going to be crying, smiling, happy, or sad, or talking about winning the damn thing. Who knows? Listen, everyone who tuned in, thank you. Take care. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.